What's up, everybody, and welcome to my AEW Fight for the Fallen 2 review. I should say this is the second year in a row. Fight for the Fallen has happened. Another pay-per-view themed special from AEW tonight. A lot to say about this show when it comes to AEW. Some good and some bad, really, because there was a lot of, I want to say, questionable things on this show, which even I didn't understand with some of the decisions they've made here tonight. And trust me, I got a lot to say about a couple promos here and that also too. But we do kick off the show though with the TNT Championship on the line. Cody Rhodes versus Sonny Kiss. I went to the bathroom during the Sonny Kiss entrance, so I'm kind of thank God I missed that. But trust me, I don't think I want to see anyways. But moving on to the match itself though. What can I say about this? This was actually decent. Some would say this is probably Sonny Kiss's biggest match up to date, okay? And Cody Rhodes did what he could to make this actually look good. Do I think Cody carried this match in a way? In some ways, yes, I will say that. It wasn't bad and everything. I'm almost surprised Sonny Kiss kicked out the Gringo Killer, I will say that. But this was not a bad match. It was decent at best, okay? I don't really have much to say bad about it, really. And yes, Cody ended up winning with the Crossroads for the win after, like, Sonny Kiss was trying to go for another punch and whatnot. And Cody, like I said, Cody ducked it. He hit the Crossroads and won the match. So the match was okay, all right? That's really much I can only say about this, all right? That's all I can really say about this. And yeah, I know Arn Anderson was out there, and some people saying that, Cody needs Arn Anderson, of course, to support and whatnot, because he's his coach and everything. But, right after Cody and Sonny Kiss end up, hugging in the ring and shaking hands right after and whatnot. But, like I said, the match was okay, all right? It was decent at best. It's not like it's not as bad as when Cody had to face Janela or Nutella out there, whatever you want to call him or whatnot. It's not as bad as Cody trying to carry the entire match. But like I said, Cody did what he could to make it look good. And, Sonny Kiss held up his part of the deal too. So, like I said, the match was decent at best. I didn't hate anything. I didn't even know this was... First off, I didn't even know this was a title shot, or I didn't know this was even announced. Apparently, they, announced all this stuff on Instagram instead of saying it on the actual show and say that the match is next week, because this was new to me. I didn't even know this match was happening. I guess I didn't really take time to look at the previews for this match or whatnot, but because I was sitting there wondering, like, why is Sonny Kiss getting a title shot for to begin with? But I keep forgetting Cody's doing the open challenge thing, because I guess they want to still go by the ranking system if we're going to go by that, which I just feel like it's kind of, it's all over the place if you ask me, and I feel like they, lose track of it half the time. But like I said, the match was decent. That's all I can really say good about this, all right? So it was whatever, I will say that. Now, there was a change on commentary, just JR, Excalibur, and Taz. There was no Tony Schiavone tonight. I think they said Tony Schiavone was at home, or he's waiting the results of his corona test or something. I think they said that on commentary. He was waiting for his coronavirus test results. So we did not see Tony Schiavone on the show this week. But right after, we got FTR versus the Lucha Brothers. Of course, they come out in FTR's truck again with the Butcher and the Baker, or the guys dressed like Milk, going to a Rice Krispies treat factory for some reason. I would say snap, crackle, and pop joke here, but these guys look like Milk. This was a good match, I will say, between FTR and the Lucha Brothers out there. Real good. But yeah, moving on to that, instead of making fun of the Milk thing. But yeah, this was a good match, though, between, like I said, Lucha Brothers and FTR. Really good match. I did enjoy this. I actually kind of like the finish to it also. Some say it would be kind of cheap, but it does give the Lucha Brothers an out and whatnot. Because, yes, they've been trying to at least push the Lucha Brothers again, at least somewhere kind of back up there and whatnot. But the match did end up with Hardwood, though, ripping off of Phoenix's mask and getting a roll-up on him. So that was good. A good win for FTR. Like I said, it was actually... It may be a cheap finish, some say, but it's actually kind of logical when you think about it. But Very good match and everything. I enjoyed both of these teams. They put some really good stuff on out there, and I was kind of looking forward to this match anyway. Some would say maybe the best match on this entire show, but I like this match a lot between FTR and the Lucha Brothers. I still think Phoenix is a freaking madman out there at the time when he's just like whipping across the ropes like that, almost like, kind of catch himself like that whole not cannonball thing, but almost like reversing the whole 619 and whatnot. But like I said, after he just tried to go for those kicks and whatnot, like I said, that's when Hardwood ripping off the mask and everything. Right after though, the Butcher and the Blade ended up getting super kicked by the Young Bucks to the ground. Next thing you know, they grabbed the truck and brought the keys back to the FTR. Kenny Omega came out with a cooler then, pretty much handing some beers to FTR out there. They all toasted, but FTR ended up pouring the beers on Kenny Omega's head. Next thing you know, Kenny Omega got pissed. The Young Bucks held him back as FTR left and just threw away his cooler, which Kenny had that coming anyways. He did pour out their drink the week before. That was just very disrespectful. You just don't pour out another man's drink like that. So it's not like, Kenny had it coming. So Kenny definitely had that one coming to him, okay? So that one was kind of coming, that whole thing was coming a mile away. So he kind of deserved that one right there with the beer on his head. Now next, this is a segment I got a lot to say about. Chris Jericho's promo. He comes out the inner circle, and, I made a joke before he came out and said anything. I said, I even told my friend Steven this, like, hey, I bet Jericho's going to come out and complain about the demographic and the ratings and everything. And I just made a joke about it because, I've been seeing on Twitter in the past few weeks about them losing in the ratings and whatnot 3 weeks in a row. And what I've seen is Tony Khan and Chris Jericho talk about demographics and whatnot, about the whole 18 to 49 category and everything. So, Jericho started talking about he had one of his best matches in history of AEW against Orange Cassidy. I rolled my eyes when he said that. And then Jericho started actually talking about the ratings then. So I ended up being right about that. I was just saying that as a joke, but he actually did start talking about the ratings then. And, he started going on about the whole 18 to 49 demographic and that he is the demo god and that's the most important aspect of the ratings and that, he's never been beaten in the demographics. So, yeah, it's, I'm the demo god and everything. And, I sat there listening to this whole thing about demographics and ratings, how, we won the demographic. And I said this last week. Take the L. Okay, just take the L. You lost, all right? You lost 3 weeks in a row. It's not like they won't accept it. It's almost like they're trying to say, oh, well, we won the demographic, so we still won the ratings. Like, no, you didn't, man. You lost in the rating. We seen the numbers. Take the L and move on and make a better show. Okay, because, listen, I know some people talk about how bad the ratings are anyway. It's not like these guys are fighting for $1 million between NXT and AEW. You guys are fighting for 700,000 right now, I think. At least 700 something thousand, it looks like. That's the most numbers they're fighting for, okay? And, I feel like Chris Jericho and Tony Khan came up with this promo anyways. Which, Jericho's using it. It is kind of funny how he's just using it to, add on to his whole promo and character and whatnot. But at the same time, they come off as butthurt. They come off as salty. It's not like they can't just take the L and just move on and try to make a better show, okay? Because, we didn't lose. We didn't lose and whatnot. And it just sounded like bitching, honestly. It's like, it's so funny. It's like, they sound bitter about this. It's funny that they said it on Twitter, which I was just said move on, but now that they actually mention it on TV, it's like they don't even know how to act now since they lost in the ratings. They act like they won 83 weeks against WWE, like WCW something, when Nitro used to beat Raw. Because at the same time, say what you want about NXT, and I know it's a great show, but at the end of the day, it's still technically a developmental league. Okay, it really is. It's technically you're going against the D League or the farm system, and you're mad because the D League show actually beat you guys in the ratings 3 weeks in a row. Because I'm sitting there wondering, like, how many weeks was AEW number one? How many weeks did they have, huh? Because they had number one for a long, long time, all right? They beat NXT almost every week in the ratings, but it's like, what, we start going down 3 weeks, and now they almost having a panic attack out there. It's just funny when I see it because I didn't think they were going to mention it on TV. I just made a joke about it to be funny. And then it actually happened. So they just came off. They came off very butthurt. You lost to women's main event NXT, and it's like they would not accept it. I'm just seeing Tony Khan and like, well, we got charts to prove. Well, they're not watching this demographic is watching the 18 to 49 demographic that people over 50 aren't. I'm like, dude, what does this prove? What does this really prove? Why are we even talking about demographics now? All right, you lost in the ratings. Take the L. You know, I'll say this right now. If AEW loses in the ratings again, I will laugh. I will just laugh, and I want to know excuse they come up with this week. I just want to see Jericho come out cut another promo about the rate. Oh, we wanted the demographics again. We may have lost this, but we wanted demographics. I'm just waiting for him and Tony Khan to say something. If they lose again this week in the ratings, I'm just gonna laugh because they just come off. It's like they were trying too hard out there. And I just thought this segment just got strange. It was just so strange when they were talking about this. So it's just funny to me because they just start bitching for no reason. That's basically what this was. That's how I looked at it. Okay, it actually was a pretty funny promo, but at the same time, it just comes off as butthurt and trying too hard. You just mad because you lost. Okay, take the L, move on. Just make a better show. That's all you gotta do. All right. Just move on and just try to beat them next week. Or if I know, NXT may win again in the ratings. So that's just hilarious to me. Gonna come out here and argue about the demographics. And then next, Jericho's got some orange juice in his hand, and that Cassidy wants a rematch and talked about everybody. Says, does everybody want to see a rematch? And fans are trying to say, you scared. You scared, and he's going to pull the rug under, saying that you're not going to get another rematch. I don't even know if I want to see another rematch. And that Orange Cassidy did good, but not good enough. Jericho pretty much, he gave a toast to Orange Cassidy with the orange juice and pretty much drank some of it. And then he poured it on the mat, for his dead career. Orange Cassidy's music hit, and then he came from the crowd. Jericho pretty much called him... you're just a stupid piece of shit and get the hell out of here. And you just have what it takes to be a world champion. Jericho basically said that, Orange Cassidy's lazy, he's a slut, he's got a bad attitude, he'll never get his rematch back. And, Jericho just went on to tell him to get the hell out of here. He's a piece of shit all the time, just get out of this arena. But then next Orange Cassidy puts his thumbs up, and then he puts his thumbs down. And then we got a whole bunch of orange juice, falling all just from the sky onto the ground then, okay? Because, like I said, it just came from the top of the arena, and then next thing you know, you got, Ortiz on the ground, I believe, just crawling around like a fish out of water, it looked like, or I think it was either Santana or Ortiz, but, I think it was Ortiz. What's Ortiz? But they were just like a fish out of water, just swimming around, just trying to get up. Almost like how, when they had the beer bash back then on Raw with Vince crawling around trying to get up with Austin spraying beer and whatnot. That's what it looked like. He's just swimming in the ring on the orange juice or whatnot. And Jericho wanted a towel, and the towel was actually a towel of Orange Cassidy and whatnot. And I guess Jericho's going to be on commentary right after this. The segment itself, I just thought it was pretty strange. All right. Because first we're just arguing about ratings and demographics, which just looked like a waste of time and just came off like try hard and very butthurt about it. As for the Jericho Cassidy thing, I don't know if I really need to see another match from these two unless if they just want to give Orange Cassidy a win. Like I said before, I just think this is a way for Jericho to do something until Mike Tyson gets back in the fold and everything. The whole orange juice dropping from the sky thing, I'll admit it was pretty funny. I know I've seen it before, but it was pretty funny and whatnot. I just don't know if I need to see another match again, but that demographic bullshit was just funny, though. I just laughed at that, okay? But moving on, they then had the Jungle Express talk about their match tonight against the Elite, as Marco Stunt growth right there is talking about Jericho being an idiot for having orange juice poured on him. And then Luchasaurus starts talking about the Elite and telling Stunt there to get his kick pads and everything. And they moved on. That really good of a promo. Jericho pretty much was on commentary talking about his jacket was $7,000 now, was ruined, and he was pissed off. But he was there for commentary right now. And okay, this match, the Elite versus the Jungle Express. Can you say Spot Fest? Because that's what I can see from this. Spot Fest. This was all a Spot Fest. And I know they showed Hangman Page in the back drinking, and I guess FTR came in, having a drink with him, watching the match and whatnot. But there was one thing me and my friend even said this tonight. They got Omega in the ring, right, with Marco Stunt, and Omega's wearing he's got a shirt on, and he's having a stare down, looking down at Marco Stunt, and next thing you know, Omega underestimated Marco Stunt, and then they got Marco Stunt damn near beating up Omega in the ring, knocking him over the place, and just like hitting a DDT and all this stuff on him until Omega was like, oh no, I gotta take this guy seriously. And then he actually takes off the shirt, and he tags out of there. Well, not tag out of there, but Stunt tags out of there after that. So this was bad, okay? The fact that Kenny Omega even sold for this dude, that's already mind-blowing. But my friend Steven brought this up to me tonight. It's like a far cry to where Omega was like a year or two ago going toe-to-toe with Okada, but now you're going toe-to-toe with Marco Stunt and selling him? I even sat there wondering throughout this. I've said it before. It's a tale of two different Kenny Omegas, man. It's a tale of two different Kenny Omegas. And there's people that'll tell you that they missed the New Japan one. When I saw him out there going against Marco Stunt, I even said to myself, it's almost hard to believe this guy was the IWGP champion or whatnot. I'm like, is this the same dude that faced Okada in all those great matches like over a year or two ago? They had like, what, four matches, right? 4 matches in total. Wrestle Kingdom, Dominion, the G1, and then the Dominion the next year, 2018. This is the same Omega? This is that same nigga? Come on. This was bad. It just looks stupid, okay? You want to talk about comedy? That's comedy for you. Some say this is the DDT Pro version of Kenny Omega. If trust me, you want to go see some silly stuff, go look up the DDT Pro thing. People talk about the story about the whole, the 8-year-old girl and, the blow-up doll thing. I think that's where it came from. So go look that up if you want to. But, man, this guy's selling the Marco Stunt. Shit, that made me mad out there watching that. That's just retarded, man. That's just real dumb, okay? Got me pissed off at that shit. But this tag match was a spot fest. It really was. Especially the part where they're outside the ring, right? And they got to set this up. They got Marco Stunt doing this big, almost like super Canadian Destroyer, which it was a very high Canadian Destroyer. I think it was on Matt Jackson. I'm surprised. Like I said, people said, you surprised this guy nearly didn't break his neck doing this move. And he's taking it from this guy. So, I don't know, man. This whole thing was a spot fest. Like I said, this was a spot fest. This is some this is basically some indie level shit right there, okay? Especially that high-ass Canadian Destroyer. But the rest of the match was whatever. Okay, like I said, I don't mind Jungle Boy or Luchasaurus to an extent. And the Elite, I don't even know right now. But it ended up with, Omega, hitting V-triggers on everybody. And then, they got Luchasaurus using himself as a human shield to protect Marco's Stunt. And then, Kenny's going for the One-Wing Angel, but Marco Stunt got out of it, and then he hit him with a V-trigger and another One-Wing Angel for the win. And then next he starts beating up Marco Stunt. Then right after which the Elite had to hold him back and everything. But, Omega starts smiling. And I'm sitting there to myself, please turn him heel. Turn him heel. I need to see the cleaner Kenny Omega again, okay? Like I've said, I've been very critical when it comes to Kenny Omega in AEW. Like I said, the only good things you could say out of him in AEW was what? Match against Pac, match against Moxley, and maybe the tag team with Hangman right now, and then match against Jericho. We already saw that before anyways, but it's like you got too much comedy right now with this Kenny Omega thing, okay? I'm not going to get to the whole him booking the women and how bad that is in general, but I don't know. Turn this guy heel, make him the cleaner again, because I'm sure there's people that will say, is this the same Kenny Omega that people saw in New Japan where everybody thought this dude was the greatest wrestler in the world and he was the shit at the time? I'm looking at this one right now. I don't know who the fuck this is half the time. I don't know. Because it looks dumb, but the fact that this dude even sold a Marco Stunt, I just sat there like, this is the same motherfucker that went against Okada and beat him for the IWGP title. I would have said that probably would never happen. This is the same guy. I would have said, this is the same dude. You sure? And he's selling to this fucking midget-ass motherfucker? Come on now. Let's be real out here for a second. That ain't made no sense. That was dumb. Like I said, this whole match was a spot fest, but some of this stuff is just like head scratching almost. Head scratching, okay? Head scratching. So if that's the first step or the seeds to turning him heel, I hope it was beating up Stunt. Because even I was about to cheer and say, good, kick the shit out of him. All right? Whew, that was just, I don't know. They did interview Hikaru Shida right after, talking about, I guess, the women in the ranking systems right now. And then Nyla Rose, is the number one contender. As Shida says she's ready for Nyla anytime. And if you want a rematch, let's do it. So, or she thinks she has enough passion to be our challenger and everything. And let's see what can come from this. Jon Moxley had a promo talking about how tonight we fight for the fall and everything. And, he's going to have a lot of frustration tonight. And he's going to let it all out on Cage. And pretty much talked about him hitting he couldn't perform the whole Death Rider paradigm shift on Cage because he's too big. But Mox says he has other ways to take him out. That, Cage is surgically repaired, torn bicep. That's the reason why he's been gone for like 5 months before he came in. Because he could send him back to the hospital and rip it right off. So not a bad promo from Moxley. The Nightmare Sisters, Brandy Rhodes and Allie. The minute I see Brandy Rhodes in the wrestling ring, I just said, God help us right now. Because that's when you turn the channel from this. They went against Kenzie Page and MJ Jenkins. I believe MJ Jenkins was releasing the WWE like during that whole thing in April. So I think it was in April or May. But when the whole release day happened. So I guess she may be in AEW now. Listen, I had problems with my TV. It's been storming over here. It kind of knocked the feed out. I saw a little of the match. I just know Allie ended up getting the win and whatnot. I didn't really need to see much of this match in general. And I don't watch AEW Dark, so I didn't know they even had a team name or anything. The Nightmare Sisters between Brandy and Allie. And it's not like, it's kind of funny somebody said that we're making up women's tag teams, but it's not like you have any tag team championships right now. So I just don't really need to see Brandy in the ring in general because we already know how bad that is. And I don't know. This is something you could have missed and wouldn't have cared about, okay? So it's not much I can really say from this match. But apparently they are a team now for whatever reason. I don't know why, but they just are. Next, though, we got Nyla Rose coming out. I guess talk about her manager and everything. Dasha Gonzalez asked Rose about, who the manager is. But basically, Nyla Rose said, I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm just going to let that person say it for themselves. Next thing you know, you get Vickie freaking Guerrero out here. And I said, this is what we going with, huh? This is what we going with. And they asked Vickie about the strategy, and about her strategy. And Vickie pretty much questioned that you shouldn't question my strategy and everything. And that Nyla Rose will be ready to go after the AEW Women's Championship when it's the perfect time. And Vickie pretty much put the locker room on notice that you need to stop lying to themselves about how great they are, because right now they're not ready to be. They will never be smart enough to cheat the win, and Rose is gonna steal every victory, that the opportunity that they dream for. Number one, I'm not sure about this. Okay, I don't know, and trust me, I know a lot of people that do not want to see Vickie Guerrero on TV right now. Trust me, I know some folks that do not really need to see Vickie Guerrero. Brian, trust me, I know you're pissed right now, okay? I just give you a heads up. That's a message to you. I'm sure you probably turned the channel from this, but I don't know, man. Vickie Guerrero, Nyla Rose. Some people actually thought Jazz was going to come out. I would have been fine with that, but Vickie Guerrero, I don't know, man. I don't know if this is going to work. I want to say give it time, but it's something I didn't expect. But I don't know. I really don't know about this one. And it's still Vickie Guerrero doing the whole excuse me thing and whatnot. And I don't know. Did Nyla Rose really need someone to talk? Need to talk or anything? Nyla Rose is not even that bad on the microphone. Like, Rose is okay to an extent, but is Vickie Guerrero really going to help move the needle into this? Hell, is Vickie Guerrero going to draw any ratings now that I think about it? I don't know. I don't know about this one. This one is kind of... it could work, but I don't know if I'm a big fan of this right now. I don't know, because trust me, there's some people I know that hate it. One thing they did announce next week, and I saw this person in the crowd, Ivelisse versus Diamante next week. Hey, man, sign Ivelisse. Sign Ivelisse. Ivelisse is that great, okay? Seen Ivelisse in Lucha Underground? Sign her. That's the person you need to pick up right there. Sign Ivelisse. But we did go on to the main event. Jon Moxley, Brian Cage, Taz had cut a promo, talked about how Moxley wants to talk about all this propaganda bullshit and whatnot, and that Cage isn't 100%, and that Moxley, while he was at home quarantining and whatnot with your wife, Cage was out here wrestling and everything. Taz pretty much called Moxley out to bring that AEW title so Cage can take it. Mox, of course, came from somewhere in the arena through the crowd with a Danny Havoc t-shirt on, and whatnot as tribute to him. Mox, this match, this is actually pretty good. I did like this match. Mox, of course, focusing on Cage's, repaired bicep and whatnot, going for the arm and everything, trying to take it out. Mox even hitting a suicide dive on Cage to the outside of the ring, into the barricade. They end up tearing off the barricade then, where I guess Mox was going to put Cage through it, but Cage ended up putting Mox, suplex on him onto the barricade right after. Right after that, then pretty much headed back into the ring. Cage had a chair, well, they didn't have the chair, but I know he suplexed Mox onto the chair. Yeah, pretty much suplexed him onto the chair then. Pretty much throwing back into the ring. Cage is going to go for a moonsault, but Mox got out the way. Cage pretty much clotheslined him then right after. Mox basically pretty much tried to go for the armbar again, which Cage was breaking out the armbar several times, even hit a buckle bomb on Moxley. But, Cage was going to go up for the drill claw, but Mox once again got out of it, went for the armbar again, which he got the armbar, but Cage pretty much held his arms together as Mox kept trying to, use his leg to kind of take down Cage by, just taking his leg and almost chopping him with it, but he was able to pull the fingers back and even still held it, even though Cage tried to get out of it. Mox even just held that arm in even tighter, which Taz didn't know what to do. Even Mox put up his middle finger up to Taz, basically saying screw you, as Taz didn't know what to do. Cage could have tapped out, but as Mox continued to basically almost break this guy's arm in half, Taz ended up throwing in the title, and Mox ended up still retaining the title. Why did I say throwing in the title? I meant throwing in the towel, and Mox still retained the title. Let me fix myself on my words right there. But right after then, which makes sense in a way, and probably the best outcome, because they could have had Cage tap out, but I don't think they wanted to go with that, so throwing in the towel was probably the best thing, which Mox still retains the title. And then right after Cage attacked Moxley with the FTW title. Next thing you know, the lights came out. Darby Allin was in the ring on the top rope with his skateboard, hitting Cage with the skateboard, knocking him outside of the ring. Then Cage and Taz got out of Dodge as Mox, pretty much got up then and pretty much looked at Darby Allin, pretty much, shaking his head of approval and whatnot. Taz tried to come back to the ring as multiple referees and staff held him back. And whatnot, pretty much getting him out of there. So, not a bad main event, okay? And, they tried to explain, why Taz threw in the towel and everything to, I guess, make sure that Cage is still not tapped out and, I guess, live to fight for another day and everything. But did I really ever see Cage even winning the title in general? Not really. And they probably could have went with it, for all I know, and crown a new champion. But did not really want to go for that. So, probably the best outcome they could come up with right here was, like I said, throwing in the towel for Mox to still retain the championship. So, yeah, not a bad main event, though. All right? Not a bad main event at all. So, this could come in another day where we will have another title match with Moxley and Cage. Because, listen, they've built Cage up very well for the past few weeks, all right? Even with Mox not there, Taz has been great on the microphone in general. With Cage, I still am not sure about the FTW title being back. But I guess they're giving it to him for a reason right now. But now this is probably going to have a feud between Darby Allin and Cage. Because Cage did take out Darby Allin at Double or Nothing, okay? Overall, I thought this was a good show. I didn't think it was nothing spectacular. I enjoyed the main event. I enjoyed the tag team match between FTR and the Lucha Brothers and whatnot. The TNT title was okay. I don't care about this whole Nightmare Sister thing. I don't even know where that's even going. What else was really on this show? I'm trying to remember. That was actually bad also. The Jericho thing, that whole demographic thing, like I said, it came off butthurt, okay? They were just mad because they lost in the ratings for the past 3 weeks, all right? And this whole ratings war for 700,000 viewers. But, hey, 3 weeks they start losing their stuff, and I guess they got to come at, everybody. Well, the demographic says 18 to 40 something and whatnot, but you just mad because you lost. Take the L, okay? The thing with Cassidy, do I really need to see this feud continue? Not really, but I still think they just want to give Cassidy a win out of this, so we'll see where this goes. It was not that bad, though, I'll say that. Some of the part in the segment. Trying to see if there's anything else added into this. That 6-man tag was just a freaking spot fest. I think I said what I had to say about that, but basically a spot fest. So, yeah, it was a good show. Like I said, it had its parts for Fight for the Fallen, but there was nothing spectacular to knock it out of the park with this show, okay? Even Fyter Fest did a little bit better than what I saw here tonight, all right? But other than that, though, I'm done with this review. Follow me on Twitter, @HoodieNight890. Comment, subscribe. Yeah, comment, subscribe, basically. Sounds like I run out of words right here to say right now. But, yeah, that's all I really got to say about this entire show tonight for Fight for the Fallen, all right? Tell me what you think about this show tonight. If you even thought this was a good show in general, yeah, tell me what you thought. But other than that, I'm out of here. See you guys later. No, it's me, HLD. Come in the news and reviews. No, I am, no, I do. I don't know. Someone must be calling. I'm done with this review for Fight for the Fallen. And that rhymed. So I'm out of here. See you guys later. Peace out.